Gwanda district, located in Matabeleland South region, has for long been experiencing low rainfall and very high temperatures. The effects and impact of climate change have been further worsened by poor natural resource management in the district, including deforestation, bad agricultural practices, and overgrazing. Lack of skills and support for smallholder farmers to remain resilient in the face of the ever-evolving harsh climatic conditions has further undermined socio-economic development in the district.
Kunzima ukukuthola ngoba besingela lapho esilima khona. Okuzingade besikwenza ekhaya kube kungokuncinci vele okungasiyo ingade ukuthi kungaba ingade ukuthi ungathengisa uthole something. Uphonga uthola nje ukuthi namhla abantwana bathe otherwise ukusasa isithebo sakhona kuyabe kungela. Then but lempilo just ukuphila khona khana esibe sikuphila abantu bethu bebengaye ezikolo because of money. Sibe singakwani ngaphandle ukuthi uyenza iplan yokuthi uyehoda something kubo Gwanda ngaphi ukuthi la ukwanisa ukuthi uthengise uthole okuncane ukuthi udle labantwana kumbe uhambisa abantwana esikolo.
The majority of irrigation schemes and gardens which have existed in the district have been underproducing and unproductive significantly due to the deteriorating irrigation and garden infrastructure. Those irrigation gardens using diesel engines were facing high operational and maintenance costs. This resulted in farmers abandoning irrigation schemes or turning to manual watering, which is labor-intensive and time-consuming on smaller portions of land.
Ngathi ekuqaleni ipractically ngakavuyi besisebenza nzima Johanile ubona umgodi lentambo nansi lendrive besindraya sithwala izinkonxa sisiyathelela khona ngale ngamakhanda bekubuhlungu sibili kodwa sayasiqinisela akuzange kube lo yedwa wethu oke wathi ngiyachiya igarden ngenxa yobunzima saqinisela la namhla silokhu sisonke silokhu sisebenza sonke abangasekhoyo ngabasichileyo ngokufa.
However, despite the varied challenges, all hope is not lost as most smallholder farmers have embarked on solar-powered irrigation gardens through support from developmental partners. The project, implemented by Practical Action and funded by the Embassy of Sweden in Zimbabwe through Swedish International Development Agency, has supported the setting up of solar-powered systems in various gardens around Gwanda to empower women and improve livelihoods.
We are assisting 15 small gardens, 1 to 2 hectare gardens, and then 4 irrigation schemes.
Grouping esilalo elezenzele garden abantu abangomama abangu 27 abantu abangobaba abangu 9 then ama youth angu 11 so it makes 36.
Le garden lesayiqala ngo2018 sazoyisebenzisa 2018 lo 2019 lapho saqala khona ukuthola ipractical action yasincedisa ngamanzi ngo2019.
Zenzele Community Garden in Ward 18 is one of the many success stories as farmers have earned livelihoods and improved their own household food security by growing horticulture crops in this dry and arid region.
Mina lapha eZenzele Garden ngile mali engafika u10,000 esengayitholayo already sengilembuzi engilazo ekhaya ngilama donkey 4 engilawo ekhaya kuba lami lokulima emasimini ami ngilalo umuzi wami laloba ungekho smart kodwa sengilomuzi sengikwanisa ukuthi ngizimele phakathi kwe stand sami ngingumama umkhokheli wabantwana ngoba ngilogogo le87 years engigcinile.
We assisted these farmers with a borehole. We drilled a borehole as practical action. Then we equipped that borehole with solar panels, Jojo tanks and everything, submersible pumps, and then it started working in 2020.
Kuyasinceda kakhulu ngoba sesilima intando yethu so kade sikhopha yethu lesibona ingane siyafisa ukuthi singayiqhelisa njani ukuthi ibe nkulu iyenze njenge irrigation ngobani siyathola ukudla siyathola ukufundisa abantu bethu ezikolo konke sikufunayo siyakuthola.
Mina njengo-lead farmer ngalima ngathola i-4,500 ku-4,500 kade ngelambuzi ngathenga imbuzi ezingu-4 ngaqeda lapha ngathenga lamadonki ayi-2 eyinye-ke lami ngabe ngibhadela abantu abami isikolo amafizi abantwana.
About 15 solar-powered irrigation gardens ranging from 1 hectare to 2 hectare and 4 solar-powered irrigation schemes ranging from 4 hectare to 23 hectare were set up in the district, thereby facilitating improved agricultural production through increased supply of water for irrigation to gardens. The project has also facilitated for capacity building on farming as a business training to build the skills base for smallholder farmers to improve their agricultural productivity.
Ngiyabonga ngoba ipractically yahle yabuyihlomile. Yahle yathatha yabafundisa njengoba libabonile. Badunisile lapha bafundiswa. So management is imbonisise ezandleni zethu ku practically vela sisababali. Sesibabala njengabangani bethu ukuthi bazosiyengezelela olunye ulwazi abalukhohliweyo kuphela. Okwe management lapha asiqedile. Sesi right latsa trainwa senziwa sihamba kuma workshops. So siyazenzela kathesi okukhona.
So in terms of nutrition, farmers have benefited quite a lot. In terms of income, they have actually witnessed to us that they got a lot of money. They were talking in the region of 180,000 rand that they raised from the crop of tomatoes they did in 2020. Now to us that is impactful. We feel the project or the intervention has actually changed the livelihoods of the farmers to a certain extent.
Endaweni yeGwanda omama bayakuthabela ngoba isikhathi esiningi omama yibo abasemakhaya obaba kabakho bahambile bayegoli ukuhamba abanye bahambe zamthosa lokuphenduka la namhla asibazi abanye bayichiya abantwana bebancinci namhla abantwana basezikolo ukuthi baphila njani badlani bayenzani ngabakwazi. So omama istories ezingadi lezi ezamabhizinesi engadi lani bayakuthabela ngoba yibo asebekhangelane lana lemizi. Bese singababala ukuthi yiba sebengabanikazi bemizi ngoba baba kasibabona ukuthi ba.
"17-year-old Freeman Ndlovu of Mawane Village, Ward 13 in Gwanda, travels several kilometers daily to fetch water on shallow and unprotected wells on this Nkwale River sand band.
Amanzi ayasihlupha esigabeni sakithi eMawane. Siwasukela endaweni ezikhatshana ezingange-5 kilometers and above. Siwalanda.
The Nkwale River is no longer flowing, and when Freeman reaches the water point, the real work begins. He has to start digging the ground for water in the essentially dry riverbed.
Amanzi siwalanda emifuleni ekhatshana kula lapha esihlala khona. So besicela uhulumeni asigebhele imigodi asiyenzele lezi kotsho eziseduze lamakhaya ethu ukuze amanzi engasihluphi.
Le indawo vele yi-drought akula manzi izulu elanayo lana kodwa kusele kunjalo kulendlala isithemu asikho.
However, there's a glimmer of hope for the young man and his fellow villagers. Practical action through its Planting for Progress project has been working with villagers from Mawane to construct the Nkwale River Sand Dam to improve water availability for about 75 households in the area.
So lapha esimkhona sithi sand dam umdilo lo yakhe lapha ngokuvalela amanzi ukuthi ekugcineni kusiya ngeminyaka kugcine sokuvaleke ngechebechebe. So echebechebeni lapha kulapha ezaba sidonsa amanzi phose umnyaka uze uphele kuze kune izulu elilandelayo.
Indaba ekhona ukuthi khona ukwakha sand dam leyi through practical action iluncedo kakhulu kubahlali bakhona apha endaweni yakithi Ward 24 lapha esikhona ku Undeveloped village. who are the most beneficiaries yinera villages layo la.
Kodwa okwakhathesi uhlupho lwamanzi asiselalo ngoba sesithatha epompini sikhangele amanzi thina besisikha emgodini lapho esikha khona besebenzisa ukuthi siyabe sikotsha sisebenzisa ipower yethu. Kodwa khathesi osekukhona lapha esesithola amanzi kule irrigation sesivula ipompi asisakotshozi, so khonkhana lathi kuyasisiza ukubana singatholi ubunzima.
The concept of a sand dam is not like the idea is to trap surface water, but subsurface water. So at the end of the day, beneficiaries of this dam are going to do kind of sand abstraction. Water is going to be drawn from the sand, or they will use even the traditional wells that we are used to, but we are looking at them using this dam for agricultural purposes and preferably at a commercial scale. So we're looking at them establishing gardens on the banks of this dam and drawing water from the sand dam.
In the dry and arid area of Gwanda Rural District, which is part of the vast stretch of the southern part of the country where back-to-back droughts have led to acute water shortages, the construction of the river sand dam has become the picture of hope and optimism.
Province yethu le ayisivumeli ayilazuba eliyeneleyo ukuthi zingakulima onke ama-vegetables, potatoes, whatever. So kawufuna imigodi ngoba lapha emfuleni kawungasivumeli.
Interest in sand dams has been rekindled as an inexpensive but effective response to drought conditions. Through the installation of solar systems to power irrigation gardens and abstraction of water from sand dams, local communities will make significant savings on energy costs while at the same time promoting a cleaner environment.
Naturally, it takes about 3 or so years for a sand dam to mature. The first season would see the water coming in with sand and a layer of sand being deposited. Then the following year, the same thing happens. And the third year, we expect the dam to be covered with sand and water. So the advantage is water is stored for longer periods in the soil, and at the same time, any excess water that flows into the dam flows through the spill. This is the spillway. And then there are no water-based conflicts that can arise. People saying you are taking too much water from the catchment area because of the dam. Yeah. At the same time, you look at the dam being like a flood mitigation measure in terms of disaster risk reduction.
Sebenzisa izandla zethu ukuthi siyakhela zanga siqhatshe omunye umuntu sazisebenzela amatshe sizithwalela ichebechebe sizithwalela abe practical action basinika isamende basithengela ukudla basibonga lokho esithi ngama incentives ukuthi lathi sikwanisa ukuthi sithenge isepa njengoba kade sichona khona apha that sibe ngabantu abakhangelekayo ngakhona lokho. So sabonga kakhulu isenzo sabo ukuthi hayi basinakile ukuthi lathi siziphakamise siyakhe indawo yethu lathi singabantu esiqinileyo.
As part of its emergency response to severe drought and climate change adaptation and resilience building, Practical Action also supported the construction of a sand dam in Ward 17. The Ukupila Sand Dam aims to empower the villagers in this drought-prone area of Gwanda South to increase crop productivity and improve livelihoods through access to water.
Ukuze siqalile sisakhiwo kube kwindaba yokuswelakala kwamanzi. Abantu babe behamba imango emiduku abanye besukela ku 2.5 kusiya ku 5 kilometers besiyadinga amanzi. Njalo belakho kuphela nxa kuthi izulu loba linile ageleza ahambe. Kodwa ngenxa yalesi sakhiwo loba singaphelelanga nje kuhle abambekile mbijana okokuthi lonyaka sikhangelela ukuthi kwesinkathi angasidonsa njengalanga ngapha emvanga impahla ziyayenelisa ukunatha maybe up to September elokhe khona.
This project came about because the garden upstream had limited water for production. We tried to do boreholes, but we got dry holes. So the solution now was to go for sand abstraction. So sand abstraction equipment was installed in the riverbed. This river we're standing on, and then but still there was not enough water coming out of that sand abstraction. The riverbed would dry much faster. So then the next intervention level was to do a sand dam wall here, the wall that we can see, to stop the sand from flowing down the river. As you can see, not even a grain of sand went past here this season, despite all the rains that we received. So all the sand was deposited upstream. So it will keep coming until this dam wall, this sand dam wall is actually filled up. Meaning the thicker the level of sand, the more water you are holding under the sand. So we were expecting that this time around the garden will draw water from the sand much longer, maybe up to the time the rains actually come. So this has been the impact of this sand dam on the production at the garden upstream.
Sand dams consist of a concrete embankment built across seasonal streams that flow during the rainy season and run dry during the dry season. Water from sand dams is accessed by digging up holes and through installation of infiltration galleries that drain into shallow wells, where water is then extracted. Sand dams provide a sustainable solution for water-scarce regions in the country, such as Gwanda district, which has seen many smallholder farmers relying on food aid and losing cattle to drought.
Ama-gardens silawo kodwa umhlabathi sesikhona ukuthi kungayenzwa more gardens along the river. Sicabanga ukuthi ngokuya kwesikhathi sike sibe le fruit garden.
Mina ngithi ebantwini ilizwe lonke lapho kungelamanzi lapho kungelamanzi sithi asilime nama cooperatives kumbe ama irrigation ngoba ukuyancedisa ngoba nikhathesi sokunje izulu kalinanga okufaneleyo khona apha endaweni yethu emasimini asitholanga lutho kodwa nxa lapha ekhopha kasisweli siyathola ukudla noma ngalima ibhinzi zonezi ngizivuthise ngiyahamba lapho engizwa ukuthi khona abavuthise khona ngiyetshintshisa ngomumbu sengiphilisa abantu aba.
They provided labor and they were also responsible for collecting the stones, but much of them they were collected from the area around here. As you can see, there is a hill here, so emphasis was on them not doing any damage to the environment as they were collecting the stones. And then for the organization, we provided cement and other materials that were required.
Thina njenge community ngathi i-practical action ekuqaleni yathi haya ucontractor uzabe buya ngomsebenzi, thina i-community sidinga amatshe lechebechebe. So sakwanisa ukuthini ukudinga amatshe njengoba libone isand dam yazi yafika lapho kufika khona i-community yadinga amatshe onke lawo. Ichebechebe besilithola khona lapha emfuleni, likhona khona lapha emfuleni. Kuthe sokuphakathi laphana i-contractor sehlule ukumitha isikhathi se-practical action, then we had to take over. Saqalisa ukuthini ukuthatha umsebenzi wonke ukuthi ama-builder abakhona lathi saba khona ukuchova amatshe ukuvuba udaka sithwala lesamende from Garanyemba sibuya lakho khonapha.
Usually this river each year will flow, will fill up and flow, and in a day or two all the water has gone down. But you might have heard from the villagers that this time around there was water here for quite some time. So in the beginning a sand dam becomes a water holding point. You have surface water, then the sand keeps building up until eventually it's sealed up and you have sand all over. So in the early stages, a sand dam is like a small dam holding surface water where animals come and get water here. So that becomes a mitigation level where the animals are coming to the river and getting water. Even right now, you've seen some water there. There's some water behind. The animals are coming here and getting water. Without this wall, it will be just like this. So in terms of drought, it's quite a good mitigation strategy, having a sand dam.
Through providing access to solar energy and conducting farmer trainings, the project is facilitating for economic empowerment of smallholder farmers in Gwanda district, leading to an increase in their capacity to improve their crop productivity, which ultimately boosts their household incomes. To date, the project has facilitated improved access to water through support in drilling of 28 boreholes in the 7 project wards of Gwanda district. These boreholes were equipped with solar-powered water pumping and drip irrigation systems to supply water for agricultural productivity.
Mina ngithi ebantwini ilizwe lonke lapho kungelamanzi lapho ngelamanzi sithi asilime nama cooperatives kumbe na amarigation ngoba ukuyancedisa ngoba nikhathesi so kunje izulu kalinanga okufaneleyo khona apha endaweni yethu emasimini sithola ngalutho kodwa nxa lapha ekhopha kasisweli siyathola ukudla noma ngalima ibhinzi zonezi ngizivuthise ngiyahamba lapha engizwa ukuthi khona bavuthise khona ngiyetshintshisa ngomumbu sengiphilisa abantu abanye.
Our project, the REAP project, is enhanced agricultural productivity, increasing resilience to climate change through solar-powered irrigation systems. So it's a dry region. The seasons are short. This time around, the season has been short nationally. But here in Gwanda North, Gwanda South, it's basically a norm. So, the season is normally short and farmers will resort to growing vegetables and finding livelihoods in the water points, which are their gardens, their solar-powered gardens. Yeah, so this is coming in handy to actually increase resilience against climate change.